Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a track with my boy. Ha. Yeah, many of rapping boys out here telling fake. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting no fights on the table. I'm calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. I'm the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shut up, Bruce Gas. One day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. We gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. Take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots. Feel like Tyson with the pink with little Glock on my side. But it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out, man. Chat real shit. That's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the pan. We strapped to my side. And I ain't talking about no Santa Cruz. Pass me the blunt. I'ma light it like a candle. Hey, non-stop bars, man. I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
There we go. There we go. We get rocking and boogieing over here, man. Good morning. Hey, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more here with you, man. And I want to talk about Jimmy Young. You know, I've been seeing a lot of cats have been showing a lot of classic fights online, and I'm watching. I'm saying, man, I've been there. I've seen these fights. And
Jimmy Young.
And man, you know, I want to put this on. I thought about it last night. I said, let me do a little Jimmy Young special tomorrow. And sure enough, man, I call up my brother, the two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Terrible Tim Witherspoon, who sparred with Jimmy Young, and he's going to share his experiences in here, man. And
that's right.
That's right, my brother. That's right. Let's shout out everybody that came in here today to see us, Tim. Blank Man, my brother, salute, man. Blank Man says, I thought Jimmy Young beat Norton and Shavers in the rematch, went 3-0 with Foreman and Lyle. He gave those guys fits, gave the all-time legend fits. His style translated into all different styles. All right, man, let's salute you, Blank Man. Appreciate you coming in here, brother. And let's see, man, who else is in here? Who else is in here seeing the champ, man? We got Marky Dan, the historian, man. Another fan of Jimmy Young, man. Shout out to Marky Dan. Technique, my brother. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you, man. Thank you much for coming by. Let's see. What do I got? I got two Tim Witherspoons on here now. I got another one in the background.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. How are we gonna delete that? Hold on.
I think I can get rid of that one.
Okay.
Boom. There you go.
You got rid of it.
I kicked you out.
Well, wait a minute. What about me?
You're here with us.
Oh man, how can I get back going? Wait.
What happened, man? Why don't you go out and then come back in and take it from instead of fucking around with it.
Go. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, man.
Hey. It's ready to come on right now. Yeah, that Jimmy Young was something. Okay, here we go. And that's another one, right?
Look at we got two Tim Witherspoons on here now.
let me see if we can get that one out of there.
What the heck is
this?
Okay,
there we go.
All right, man. All right, man. My brother Technique is in here, man. Shout out to Technique, man. Just Do Boxing, my good friend Just Do. Shout out to you, man. Rascalot's in here. Shout out to Rascalot. Martin Dunkstead from across the pond. Shout out to my brother Martin. Joe, in fact, Joe is kind of the guy who gave me the idea to put this on, because Joe is a big fan of Jimmy Young. You know,
him and Boogaloo Watts were cousins.
Yep.
They were cousins, and I was around them. You know, they was training at Joe Frazier's gym a lot. And I sparred Jimmy, man. I was had a couple of fights, and I sparred him, man. He caught me in the stomach one time, and I was like, you know, he laid back, and he just let that energy go on you, bam, 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 real quick. you know. And he
And,
just
and
moving funny. He moves funny, and then he get them awkward punches off on you real fast.
Jimmy didn't do much work to the body though, did he? He wasn't much of a body puncher.
No, no. And I was impressed with the way he like, he like get his punches off. Whap, whap. And he was awkward. He was awkward. The way he stood was like sideways, and he whap, whap. His jab was good. He beat George Foreman. He
Beat
beat
George
George
Foreman.
Foreman. Man, he caught me in the solar plex. I felt like stopping, but I couldn't because I didn't want to get embarrassed. We
That
were
was
sparring, and we got in close, and he turned and boom, right in my solar plex, and I was like, "Whoa, shit! No, serious."
oh, I believe it's serious, man. I'm laughing with you, not at you, because I can see Jimmy Young. I can see you and Jimmy Young sparring, and all of a sudden that what was it, a left hook or a right uppercut?
No, it was a left. It was like a left uppercut right to my solar plex, right in the middle, right here, right in the middle, and he slick. He just turned in and said he just turned and bam right up the middle. And I felt like stopping, but I said I can't. I would have got embarrassed. Right in Joe Frazier's gym. Be sparring in Joe Frazier's gym. But then other than that, I was doing real good. I was backing him up, and then he hit me in the solar plex, and I remember that to the right up until the day.
I hear that, brother. I hear that. Shout out to the Bud Files for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. And Joe says, has anyone ever seen Jimmy Young on the floor? He was on the floor against Ron Lyle in the first fight.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only time. Because even when he fought, he got stopped by Jerry Cooney, and that was from cuts, and that was late in his career.
Right.
But now he had one solid chin. In fact, I was reading an article about Jimmy Young today, yesterday rather, and it says that he came into boxing. He didn't have his heart in it. He started off and he wasn't into it, but then he found himself 21 years old with 2 kids, and he had to take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And that's could be when he started his career. He lost 3 fights before he fought Shavers. So he wasn't, he was looked at already as an opponent, just as an underdog.
Right.
And Shavers not.
Big fight. Who was the big fight that really got him up on the scene?
Oh well, when he came back and he had the draw with Shavers. Only about 20 months later, he fought Shavers to a draw, but everybody at ringside said that he beat Shavers.
Okay.
And then he went to Hawaii and he fought Ron Lyle.
Hard punching Ron Lyle.
Hard punching Ron Lyle, man. Let's see if we can bring up some of the
He was always at Joe Frazier's gym, man, and his name blew up there too. His name blew up at Joe's. Everybody knew that Jimmy Young trained down there. That's where I sparred him at. I sparred him at Joe Frazier's gym. He real slick, and the way he moved and the way he looked, when he started throwing them punches, the way he moved and okay, you're gonna.
I'm gonna try to get it up here, to get it out.
Like
of
he
here,
moved like he not gonna do nothing, but then he let them punches go, and you feel it. I felt that shot right in my solar plex, and I remember it to the day.
What the heck did I just do?
Uh-oh.
There we go. Let's see if we can straighten this out again here, man.
He had an awkward style. He had an awkward style. The way he moved, he didn't really slip. He didn't really slip or anything. He kept his hands up, and he was quick.
There we go. Now I found it.
Element of surprise. That's how he gets you. The element of surprise. Uh-oh. All right, let's see.
This is him with Ron Lyle. Ron's got the green trunks on.
Yeah. No.
No, I'm sorry. Jimmy's got the green trunks on.
Right. Jimmy has, yeah. Jimmy looked like he got some muscles on him. See his awkward style? He sticks that jab. He set everything up with the jab. That's what I tell all the young guys and people that I work with and train. Your jab will set everything up. And he used that. See the jab? He's going to jab and then he'll move in. And Ron ain't nobody to play around with.
Oh, Ron was one of the hardest punchers in the division.
That's right. But look
You know,
how
this,
he fighting against Jimmy. Jimmy not as strong as him. That's why I told you he caught me with that shot, and then he was outboxing me, and I did real good. I did real good. I think I was early in my professional, or maybe I was an amateur, but I think I had maybe 10 fights.
now Ron Lyle was supposed to knock him out. Everybody thought Ron Lyle was going to go in and have an easy fight with him, and he frustrated Lyle.
Yeah, you can underestimate Jimmy really easy.
Muhammad Ali watched this fight, and this is when Ali was looking for a easy opponent in 1976.
Whoa. He looked like he slipped, but he did get caught. Jimmy was awkward, man. I'm telling you. He was awkward. And as soon as you try to punch at him, he would defense up. He either come in and grab you and see how he just get his punches off.
Mm-hmm.
You get close to him. See, he'll grab you. See that? Now let's see if he come up the middle like he did me with that left uppercut. It was right to the solar plex.
And Lyle looks like he's in a position for it too right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at him. He's got Lyle in all kind of trouble.
He was quick too, Bruce. He was quick and sneaky. Yep, he was quick and sneaky. That's how he caught me. You don't think it's gonna come in and bang bang. Look how he holds his hands too.
Now what was he holding his hands? He kind of opened glove a little bit to try to catch those punches.
Yeah. He opened his hands like I was taught. So they feed from the old guys.
Nice sneaky right hand too.
Your hand open and block the punches. But they don't do that no more these days. See how Jimmy got his hands and Ron Lyle got their hands open and they relaxing. They're not throwing thousands of punches because they don't have defense. Well, Ron defense is not as good as Jimmy's. He just want to knock Jimmy out or try to.
That's it. That's it, man. Ron thought he was going to have an easy payday here because Jimmy Young, he got to the point where after the Ken Norton fight, he kind of he didn't care about it anymore. He realized he was a gatekeeper, a stepping stone.
What did he do with Ken Norton?
Oh man, we'll take a look at that fight afterwards. That was after the Ali fight. After this fight, he got his chance with Muhammad Ali. Let's watch that fight first to keep it in the timeline in order.
Okay, look how sneaky Jimmy is. Now see, he'll come up and grab you. That's a good technique. You see how he just go in here, grab.
I think your phone's ringing, champ.
Yeah, that's a scam.
Scam, Screw them scams, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's circling to the left. He's jabbing Ron nice, man. He's doing a good job in there.
Now, see how relaxed these guys are compared to the boxers today. They just keep throwing 1,000 punches because the defense. They don't have the defense is not really taught to these guys. Now watch. Well, Ron Lyle defense wasn't all the best, but a lot of Jimmy's opponents and Jimmy Young got a okay defense, but he's mainly was offense. His defense was getting in and grabbing you too. Look at that, in there close. Look how he just quick and smooth. And like we said, Ron Lyle is nobody to play with.
Definitely not.
You think he underestimated Jimmy a little bit for this fight?
I think so, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're in Hawaii too, so
okay. Because usually Ron, depending on what round this is, Ron usually sharper than this. I'm not taking nothing to get away.
Let me shout out my brother Remy in there, man. Shout out to Remy, man.
Remy's in town, huh?
Rascalot 220 says he's not a fan of Jimmy Young. Oh well.
Oh, hey. Jimmy was a nice guy. He was a nice guy personally. If you would have met him, probably.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, he, let's watch that again, man. Let's watch that again.
listen, if he would have met Jimmy, he probably would have liked him because Jimmy is nice.
Oh, yeah. See.
He just fell through the ropes. Now that's the people that fixed them ropes. He shouldn't have fell through them ropes. The people that set the ring up. Okay, look at that. He's quick. He's getting around with those short little bing bing, bing bing. Look at that. He's just real sharp, bang. And you know,
Oh,
we could say that Ron took him a little light. Oh, I could beat Jimmy Young because he's big and strong and got knockout power. You know, a lot of boxers do that. They just train just enough. But Jimmy came to fight. And to sneak you, he's like a sneaker. He's like sneak you. And then he'll grab. He'll come up. He'll go down and come up and grab you. Look at that 1-2 right on Ron. I don't think Jimmy's defense was really 100%, but the grab and the hold stuff was in his repertoire. And
no.
he's out. To me, he's out hustling Ron Lyle, and he got in good shape. Maybe Ron underestimated him. I'm telling you.
Well, see, Jimmy Young started taking his career seriously because
Okay.
he was going nowhere. He had 2 kids and a wife, and he was working all over the place. He was a truck driver. He was
Yes.
landscaping.
No, he worked for the city, I think, right?
Yeah. He worked for the city, and he was a welder too. His father was a welder, so he was a welder for a while.
Oh, look
And
at those shots. Look at those shots. Keep talking, Bruce.
no, but then he realized that he could do something in this game, especially after he came back and had the draw with Ernie Shavers,
Right.
and then the 2 wins over Ron Lyle.
Wow.
And that's when Muhammad Ali saw him. You know, these highlights are over in a second. We'll find the Ali fight. We'll bring up the fight, and we'll find out why he didn't get the decision with Ali, because I watched the fight. I didn't think he deserved it because he was, I don't know, he just wasn't offensive enough. In fact, he made Muhammad Ali go on the offense in that fight, something Ali very rarely does.
See, Jimmy threw them quick little shots, and Ron is much slower than him. He was really slick that when I sparred him, man. Now I can see why he won some of them big fights. He was kind of awkward the way he stand. The way he stand was kind of awkward, and he shoot that jab on you. That's what I'm saying, man. These guys, you got to control your opponent with the jab. These young guys, are y'all looking at this podcast? You got to, that jab has set up everything. And that's what Jimmy did. He set it up with the jab, then put the combinations behind it, but he didn't go back on defense all the time. You got to remember those three things. Try to control your opponent with the jab. Go back on defense. Go back on defense after you finish your combos because you don't think your opponent gonna throw punches at you. Yeah, so bing bang right back to defense. Then you could tease them with slipping, blocking the jab.
Okay. Here's the Ali fight.
Okay.
This was in Landover, Maryland, 1976, April 30th. I remember I was in Boston at the time.
I graduated high school.
All right, man. I graduated college.
Whoa, okay. Okay, so
see, Jimmy Young, he stuck his head. He did too much
complaining
and sticking his head inside the ropes.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think that looked good in that fight. Do you remember that when he?
Oh, I remember it now. Yeah, I remember.
But Ali was frustrated.
Did somebody get cut?
Not in this fight. I don't think so.
Yeah, he did frustrate Muhammad by the way he moved. You know, he's awkward. Jimmy Young is an awkward boxer, but Ali is trying to catch him. He's awkward. He's an awkward boxer. That's how he caught me with that uppercut to my solar plex, man. I still feel it too, Bruce.
Ali came in this fight the heaviest he's ever come into a fight before.
Okay, so he might have took him lightly, just like the rest of the guys.
He came in at, oh, absolutely, came in at 230. He was in no shape, and Jimmy Young was psyched for this fight. Jimmy was ready to win the heavyweight championship of the world. But see,
yeah, I remember this.
That turned me off. I think that turned a lot of judges off.
That was his technique. That was his technique.
But he had Ali frustrated. Ali tried to dance, but Ali just wasn't in shape to dance for 15 rounds. Jimmy's just Jimmy was using the tactics that Ali used on other opponents. Jimmy used the rope-a-dope. I mean, he tried to frustrate Ali. He turned Ali into an offensive fighter, and Ali's normally a counterpuncher. But Jimmy Young just had a style. And in fact, they asked Ali if Ali would give him a rematch, and Ali always said, "He's nothing. He's nothing."
Well, it don't look like Ali real serious, but Jimmy is. But Ali know that this guy could probably try to steal the fight from him. But it don't look like Ali think this serious, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You could tell Jimmy just turned his head. He's really not trying to.
Even with the loss, this wasn't a low point for Jimmy Young.
Okay.
See, but
leaning out the rope. Yeah, that wasn't too cool.
No, I think the ref might have even taken a point away from him for doing that because he did it so much.
That wasn't cool though. I remember that. I remember that. Oh, now Ali slapped him in the back of the head because you keep doing that. That's not really good.
No, he's trying to do. He's trying to do.
Yeah, now that is bad for boxing. He shouldn't turn his way like that. I remember this. I remember this now.
I think that's why the judges couldn't give him the fight because he just looked so terrible with some of those inside the ropes and just not, he didn't look like he wanted to win the title. You know, Tim, that's almost like when you fought Larry Holmes. That there's a lot of similarities there. You know, people thought that Jimmy Young should have won this fight. A lot of people, but then people said that he just didn't do enough to win. And a lot of people said that about you with Larry Holmes. They said he just didn't do enough to win. You know?
Yeah, I don't think that there's no way Jimmy Young won this fight. If every round was like this, there's no way. And I seen this fight long time ago. I was in high school.
Yep.
I graduated high school. There's no way people could think that he won this. But when I fought Larry Holmes, that was look at that turn away. It wasn't no turning away in our fight. We was toe to toe.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it was the same style at all.
Okay.
I mean, you were on the offense. Jimmy Young is 100% defense over here. But they were definitely controversial fights that go down in history. It's like Jimmy Young.
You could tell Ali a little sluggish too.
Very, very sluggish. He was not expecting a hungry Jimmy Young to fight him. He was expecting an easy payday, a cakewalk. But you know, Jimmy had other ideas, but then Jimmy just didn't bring his A game. That was the problem. See, Jimmy's got his hands up at the end of the fight. Was that the end of the round or the end of the? Yeah, I guess that's the fight.
There's Drew Bundini, Gene Kilroy.
Drew Bundini Brown. Yep, man. Ali's whole camp, man. Murad Muhammad.
Yes, I really. Wow, that fight to me.
All right. Well, see that was not such a bad thing for Jimmy Young because he got his rematch with Ron Lyle after that. He won a unanimous decision. But then he had the fight that everybody talks about to this day. Let's see if we can bring this one up here, man. Let me see if I can bring this fight up here. This was 1976, man. It was an amazing fight. Let's see, man. Jimmy Young versus Big George.
Oh, Jimmy Young and Big George. Yeah, really. He said, I don't really criticize the post, just present. No, that's Remy.
Remy's my brother. What's Remy saying out there, man?
He said, I don't really criticize the post, just the past, just present.
Because I've been watching this, and we got a lot of people in here commenting about this. Rascalot, Marky Dan says Rascalot Young got robbed by Shavers in the second fight. Martin Dungstead never knocked one against Shavers and draw. Never knocked out, one TKO against Shavers and one draw. And the loss against Cooney was Cutler, Lyle twice. Oh yeah, man. I mean, this is definitely somebody that we want to watch over here. Cooney would beat any version of Young. Too much power. He fought an old version of Young, and I don't know about that, Marky Dan, but we're all opinionated on here, and God bless yours, my brother. I think a prime Young would have frustrated the hell out of Jerry Cooney myself.
I think so too. Because Jimmy was slick. I'm telling you, I sparred with him, and he was complicated. He was complicated and sneaky. He was sneaky, and that was the real problem.
Crafty, they said, man.
Yeah, crafty, sneaky. Let's see. See how he hold his hands are awkward. And he's quick. Now, okay, that's his defense. He don't want to get hit, so he'll move in. He'll move in and grab you, which is a tactic that you can use.
And George said he was going to break Jimmy Young's neck in this fight. George said, if he stands and trades with me, I'll break his neck. If he runs, I'll catch him and break his neck. George had an attitude in this fight, man. I remember this fight well.
He had an attitude in every fight. He hit him in the back of the head.
Shout out to the boxing scholar out there, man.
Yeah, so Jimmy was quick. He was quick and sneaky. Look how his movement is. I don't think he had the best defense, but he will grab you. George dunked that right hand to his body.
Oh, yeah. George is in here for a purpose. If George wins this fight, he gets a rematch with Muhammad Ali.
Does Jimmy drop him?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, this was an action fight. I was watching this in a bar, and I'm watching it, and I was with all my friends back in 1977. We were all snorting coke. We were all drinking all night long, and there was this one cat in the bar. I didn't like this guy. He was a coke dealer, but he was cheap as a motherfucker.
Oh, God.
And he said, George is going to kill him. And I'm looking at him saying, nope. I said, Jimmy Young is beating George Foreman. No way. We placed a bet. It was only $10, but in 1977, a $10 bet was like a $100 bet today.
Yeah.
And I won it, and he was so mad.
Wow.
I remember it so well, man. Jimmy Young, this was his best fight. Jimmy shined in this fight.
Well, Jimmy aggravates you. That's what he's doing to George.
What's he doing?
He's aggravating him. By the way he boxed, George is upset, and that's how Jimmy is going to get to him. That's how Jimmy going to get him. He aggravates. See, George don't want that. See, that's why George pushing him like that.
What does George want to do? George wants to stay on the outside and just slug him with those overhand rights and left hooks?
It looked like George is a little bit heavy and sluggish. It looked like he ain't really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I don't think people were taking Jimmy Young seriously.
Right.
Man.
He was sharp, I'm telling you. He was sharp.
I see him.
You sit there and wait, and he'll get you. Bang, bang.
You can see him. He's always, his hands are always moving, so we can get that bing in there, like you're saying, man.
Yeah. He got in close and dropped that right hand on George.
Paco, my brother, salute.
See, that's confusion. See how he do that? And instead of throwing punches, he'll come up and grab you. That's his form of defense. I don't think George taking him serious. But when you get in the ring and start in that bell ring and Jimmy start moving on you, then you start taking him. You start taking him serious. I'm
And
only going by sparring with him a couple of times. You know, I thought it was going to. I didn't think it was going to be easy, but he was crafty. You see the way he hold his hands, Bruce?
yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, and he just get his stuff. He just he just get off. He throws his punches. He's quick, boom, boom. But he grabs. That's the only problem. He
Remy,
grabs.
Remy, thank you so much for the super chat, my brother. Liam Parrow just became champ fighting like Jimmy Young. Liam Parrow, the Australian man, he just became the 140-pound champ.
Wow.
Let's see, Jimmy Young, man, people accuse Shakur Stevenson of being dull. They didn't accuse Jimmy Young of being dull, and he had that defensive style, but for some reason, being a heavyweight, and he always had those combinations, whipping, like you said, the shots to the solar plexus, kept his hands moving. They never accused Jimmy of being a dull fighter. Get this smoke, my brother. Salute to you, my man.
Yep. Salute. Jimmy was really slick. And a lot of people want Jimmy to win because George is big and always knocking people out. They want the underdog, the so-called underdog, to win.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Once Jimmy Young started to rock George Foreman in this fight, San Juan, the people went crazy in the audience.
I don't think George took him serious. Look how George look all strong and Jimmy just regular. He's just in there boxing.
George was tight in this stage of his career. George was a bully. George wanted to kill his opponents. That's what he said, man. He wasn't in there. He was in there to kill his opponent. He hated his opponent. His second career, he came back with a different attitude. And look how successful he was.
Yes, he did. It don't look like he's taking it serious. But Jimmy's going to get him. Sneaky Jimmy.
And Jimmy gets tagged in this fight too.
Oh, he does.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching this fight. It's been a while though. 1976, right?
1976. Yep.
I was only like 18 or 19.
I think I was about 21. 2021, man. 76 was a good year for me, man. I had a brand new car. I was
that was the bicentennial too. Look at that, George is banging. Look at George banging him with them body shots.
Hey, you know what else happened on this day back in 1983?
I fought Larry Holmes.
No. Alexis Aguayo fought Aaron Pryor.
Okay.
The great. Was it the second fight? Yeah, the first fight was in November of '82. Today was the day of the rematch, and also today, the Alan Minter died today, about 5-6 years ago.
Alan Minter, he was a good boxer. Alan Minter. So we got Jimmy Young just being Jimmy Young. George is frustrated. Said, man, I got to get this guy out of here. But Jimmy is sneaky. Like I told you about that body shot, that's how you're going to drop George, right?
That's how he's going. Oh no, he gets him with the overhand right.
Oh, okay.
But George blows his load first. George almost kills Jimmy Young. Jimmy said 1 or 2 more punches, and he was ready to quit.
Yeah, because George, yeah, see, when Jimmy gets hit, he'll come up and grab. Seeing that, to me, that's not being a tough boxer. It is being like a smart boxer. But he does that through the whole fight. So that's what he did. He was a good boxer.
My brother Mad Chad's in the audience, man. Shout out to Mad Chad.
Mad Chad.
Mad Chad wants to go 12 rounds with Terrible Tim Witherspoon. He says he's in training.
Okay, let's get it on.
Let's get it on like Donkey Kong.
Like Marvin Gaye.
And Joe and Rascal, they're going back and forth. We're going to have to get them in the ring pretty soon over here, man.
Okay, round 6.
Here we go. Yeah, round 6, man. This fight's gonna get exciting.
George just don't look like he,
But George is starting to unload the power now.
yeah, but don't look like he came to fight really. He just think he just knocked Jimmy right out.
And he's throwing those wide punches. Jimmy gets right inside, man. Bop, 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 bop to the body, to the head.
Yeah, that's how that I'm saying the way he releases punches, man, is like I was surprised he did that there body shot, but I was blocking. I had a good defense. I was blocking everything else. I had fun when I boxed him, though, Bruce. It wasn't. I wasn't sweating or nothing. I held my own. I did good. He didn't really do nothing to me, but he was sneaky. Bing bang! If you don't have your hands up,
Look at George cuffing him too.
I know.
And now George is starting to walk him down.
Is the way he fight, the way Jimmy is fighting, is smart and intelligent, but is a boring kind of hold. If you do it all the time, if you keep doing it, everybody want to see you fighting. But that was his tactics. Then he's sneaky. Bing, bang.
But what you survive? Oh, look at that left hook. Oh, he's hurt.
Either you got.
Oh.
Okay.
Big George is in for the kill now. Look at him. He's unloading the boat over here. He's selling out. Jimmy's hurt.
That type of fighting is. I mean, he did his.
He almost went down.
Turning away, and stuff like that, and.
Bro, Jimmy's got a hell of a chin to survive this onslaught.
Now he's fighting back.
George has got him against the ropes. This is like he wanted to do to Ali and Zaire.
He want to get rid of him. Yeah, he want to get rid of him. He want to get rid of Jimmy.
Oh.
Punching himself out. Now Jimmy gonna come back. Jimmy's gonna come back. George Foreman kind of sluggish. You can see it in his movement. Here, George. Here. Oh, wow. Good. George caught him with them punches. But Jimmy gonna catch him with a 1-2 or something like that. Not in this round.
Thomas Hill, my brother, salute. De Niro, man, salute, man.
Oh, look at that. Okay, now Jimmy coming back. George got tired. He's getting tired from throwing all them punches. Jimmy will come back on you.
That's what we want to see, man. Watch how Jimmy. Oh, here we go. And besides Ali, I think this was the only time that. Oh, there we go.
That was it, yeah.
Oh, George is holding on.
Yeah, Jimmy is sneaky, man, clever.
Unbelievable that he survived that, man.
George is just mugging him. Okay, here we go. Round 8.
Round number 8. Jimmy even said, he said one or two more of those shots and he would have stopped him. Foreman would have stopped him. He was that hurt. Never hurt like that ever in any fights he's ever been in. Wow. And here comes Jimmy. Now Jimmy says, I survived that.
George is tired. George is sluggish. He punched himself out. Now he punched himself out, but he threw a lot of punches thinking he can get Jimmy out of there.
He spent a lot of dough in that last round. He doesn't have much in the bank anymore. Oh, there goes Jimmy Young. Jimmy knows it too. Jimmy knows George is winded right now.
Yep. And this is where you're gonna come back. With that slick style he has. Sneaky. He'll hold you, then throw punches. Okay. This is where he coming back. I don't think George, he trained, but this is not the George we usually see. Well, that hey, just so he should have been ready.
Yep, he should have been ready. And after this fight, George said he saw God in the dressing room. God told him that don't box anymore, to follow me. I mean, George had an epiphany after this fight. He was so dehydrated.
Round nine. He had an epiphany.
Oh yeah, man, he had an epiphany.
That means that he had what?
He saw God in his dressing room. I mean, he died.
Okay,
He died. He died. He went to heaven and he came back to earth. I mean, George was nuts after this fight. This was his last fight for 10 years. Over 10
George?
years. Yeah, George retired after this fight.
Okay, this the one. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy sent George to the crazy house. I mean, Jimmy Young is this was Jimmy's best night. Oh, look at that beautiful defense in the corner too, man. That was nice. That almost looked like a Pernell Whitaker.
I don't think it was like that, but it was pretty maneuver. He maneuvered. You thought he was like Pernell?
Oh, went down. I thought he was going to do a limbo over there for a second.
Okay.
George is starting to come on now. Oh, here we go. Oh,
Jimmy was a clever boxer, but some of his fights, now they wasn't boring, but it was his technique, the way he held his opponent and went back. Oh, round 10.
here we go, the last round.
And went back on defense. George is trying to take him out.
Oh, yeah, George is definitely trying to take him out. They must have told George in his corner, you're behind, Big George, you're behind. Something George isn't used to hearing.
Yeah, you're right. That's the way it looks. And George don't look like he looks tired. Probably figure, I'll knock Jimmy Young out in 3 rounds. You know, that's what boxers be doing sometimes. I did it a lot.
Oh, there's a nice left hook.
He caught him with a good left hook. Jimmy going to come back, though.
Yeah, pushes him off him like that.
Yeah, intimidation. Okay. Here you go. You got George. Jimmy playing it. He's playing it the way it's supposed to be. He knows that George is frustrated, and that's how Jimmy Young get the best of a guy. If you got him frustrated, you in trouble. If you get frustrated against Jimmy, you get frustrated against Jimmy and fight all wild, he's going to pick you apart.
Those pity pat punches, they may not knock you out, but man, they score points on those judges' cards.
They do.
And
pity pat and throw a hard one.
That's it.
And throw a hard one. See, look at that. Tugging with the right hand. Okay.
Yeah, George didn't want to hear it after this fight. He didn't want to say anything to Howard Cosell. No comment.
Yeah, because he figured he'd take Jimmy out in the first 3 rounds, and then as the rounds went on, okay, here we go. We're just round 11, right?
Oh, this was 12. I thought it was a 10 round. Yeah, it's a 12-round fight.
Yeah, this round 11. Yeah, Jimmy was a good boxer. But his defense was kind of, his technique of defense, I wouldn't teach the boxers to do it because it make the fights boring.
Yeah.
But he got it done. This is where he sneak you at. Bang. See that? That's where he sneak you at.
This is the round I think he knocks Foreman down in too. Yeah, Jimmy's starting to sit down on his punches now.
Yeah. He's got an awkward way of slipping punches. Okay, he's in good shape. This is where.
Oh yeah, man. Jimmy's in the zone right now.
Yes, he is. George could have been in better shape. And Jimmy is a better boxer. Okay, round 12. You could tell George wasn't in the best. Jimmy was in good shape. Ooh, look who he's fighting. He's fighting one the hardest puncher in boxing. One of, I think Ron Lyle's the hardest puncher.
How about that? How about Ernie?
Oh, Ernie Shavers or Ron Lyle's is out of them two.
Did you ever get in the ring with Ron Lyle?
No, we were good friends though. We were good friends. I never got in the ring with him. I was around with Ernie Shavers and him, man. I'm
Here you
blessed.
go.
I'm blessed, man. I've had a chance to be around.
Now George is coming in a little bit reckless over here. Oh, here we go. Bang! He's down. Right hand knocked him down. George isn't used to that.
He let this dude. He should have got in shape. Jimmy looked in shape. George looked like he took time off. Probably was messing around with a young lady. You know.
Joe says
it's going to be easy. I'm thinking like a boxer sometimes.
I don't know. You think Jimmy Young just might have been the better man this night?
He looks in better shape. He looks in better shape. And yeah, okay, we can say that. He looks in better shape. George, you can see sluggish, tired. Look at him looking at the clock. He don't even care about the fight. For some reason, it appears to me that he bouncing around. Okay, the fight is over.
And Jimmy's raising his hands. His handlers are going to pick him up. George kind of resigned to the fact that he didn't do so well.
Yeah, Jimmy made him look bad.
Oh, is that what's his name there? In Foreman's corner, Gil Clancy.
Gil Clancy, he's the commentator, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a trainer though too. He trained.
Okay. Dude, who got this fight?
George Foreman. And George Foreman lost the fight. This was one of the biggest upsets in boxing.
Yeah, he didn't train. I don't think he trained really because he was dead tired.
Nope. Let's
look how fresh Jimmy look.
I was only. It was the 7th round, Jimmy.
Is that echoing out there, or can you hear that? Marky Dan, I'm not dropping this, Joe. I'm not doing open panel, man. That's not my thing, brother.
Huh?
I'm talking to somebody out there that wanted to win. Jimmy Young wins the nod. All right, man. And there was another fight after this. Because Bruno, shut up, will you? My dog's out there barking, but I guess he's just doing what dogs are supposed to do. But he fought Jody Ballard after this, and then he fought Ken Norton. He got that eliminator fight with Ken Norton. See if we can show some of that.
Which one?
Norton.
So wait a minute, how long we been on?
We've been on for 50 minutes. Why? You know, hurry, champ. You got to run.
We could do this last one. Is that cool?
Yeah. I'll just throw the highlights up here. Hang on, man. This is after the George Foreman fight. He got in a title eliminator with Jimmy Young. Ali said he would fight the winner of this fight.
Okay.
And
that's Kenny Norton.
That's Kenny Norton. This was one of the closest fights in boxing history, man. This was for the WBC. I guess they didn't really have an interim belt, but it was an eliminator. And in those days, when they said it's an eliminator, it was an eliminator. Thomas Hill, my brother. Salute. Al Booger. Peace, my man. Thomas Hill's been in here, man.
Yeah, Jimmy was a sneaky. He wouldn't stand there and bang you, but he'll sneak you, boom, and run. Sneak you and step here.
Yeah, Jimmy won the early part of this fight, and then Norton came on. Norton won the later rounds. It was a real close decision. There we go. It was a close decision, split decision. One judge voted 143, 147 for Norton. One judge voted 144, 142 for Young. And the last judge voted 143, 147 for Norton. Norton got a decision.
Okay.
Marky then said this is a terrible robbery.
Yeah, he's just an awkward fighter to box, Jimmy was.
This was a close fight, and what this did was, man, this took the will to fight out of Jimmy Young. You know, Jimmy Young did coke after this fight. He wasn't the same. He was on a downhill.
Oh, okay. All right.
After this fight, they still wanted to make Jimmy Young versus Larry Holmes. They still wanted to make that fight. So Don King put him on a card with Ozzy Ocasio. Remember Ozzy Ocasio?
Yeah. Yep.
Rico. Ozzy Ocasio beat him by a split decision. He beat a very lackluster, very out of shape Jimmy Young.
Yeah.
Jimmy Young came in at like 220 pounds, totally out of shape, and he got beat by Ocasio. Then Don King even set up a rematch because people couldn't believe it. They said, "Nah, Jimmy can't be that bad." But once again, Jimmy Young got beat by Ozzy Ocasio in a very uninspired decision. But see, Norton's coming alive in the second half of this fight.
Yeah.
Doing some serious work on the body of Jimmy Young. You can see that they even put the scores in there. They got Young ahead 59 to 57 in this round. But this was an awesome fight. This was 15 rounds. I can remember watching this fight too, man. Back in, I think it was in '77. And then Norton wanted that the rematch with Ali. He wanted that fourth fight with Ali. Ali wouldn't give it to him.
Right.
But you can see Norton's got a good style here. Norton's banging to the body.
Yeah, he does. But he does keep his hands up. A lot of times he didn't. Then I was watching him a lot too. His hands a little too loose, but he did really good with the tight defense too. Seems like his couple of his hands wasn't too high. Like they right there. They're not like around his face. They're right under his chin. See right there? And he got hit a lot. But he should have raised his hands up a little higher. I was watching Kenny Norton in a lot of his fights, and he was keeping his hands too low with his defense. Watch.
Adari, salute my brother. Now you're never going to see 15-round fights again. In fact, they might even bring them down to 10, the way things go in boxing.
12 rounds.
Tim, you remember Wendell Bailey?
Yeah. He was the heavyweight. I used to train in the gym with him. He got killed or something, right?
His girlfriend murdered him.
Yeah. I boxed him. I used to box him.
He fought Jimmy Young after Jimmy Young lost the 2 fights to Ocasio.
Yeah.
Wendell Bailey was 13-1, and Jimmy Young beat him he knocked him out in the 3rd round. TKO.
I used to show him off in the gym. Like he couldn't. He was big and muscular too, and he trained there in South Philly at the old Passion gym. And I think Jimmy Arthur was his trainer, and he was beating up everybody. When I got in there, I can remember he didn't do nothing to me. I got the best of him. Wendell Bailey, yep. He's a good. Well, I didn't really get to talk to him, but he was muscular, big, and strong.
You got a compliment here, champ. Marky Don says he just wanted to let you know he wanted to jump on the panel, but like I said, man, I don't just drop links like anybody out there does. But he just wanted to let you know, man, that you was one of the baddest mofos to ever step in the ring.
Thank you.
Yep, and you know he just wants to compliment you on that Larry Holmes fight and that Frank Bruno fight, and you're a legend, my brother. And I tell you that all the time. We know that.
If I would have really lifted some weights and got a sports medicine guy, I would have did a lot better than what I did. The trainers didn't want us lifting weights and stuff. They heard you lifting weights, they get mad at you. You know, so nowadays they lifting weights and got sports medicine. If I was
not only that, bro, you know, you had that pressure of Don King on you. Don King didn't care about you. He was only giving you for meat for Tyson. You know, it was a whole different era. If you had good representation now, and you had the nutrition and the training habits, bro, we're looking at the 3-time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world right here, man.
Yeah, that's true.
At 67 years old, you might still be able to do it now, so watch out.
I got to get back in shape. Yeah, I got to get back in shape.
There's my man Mad Chad out there once again, man. Appreciate Mad Chad. He's out there on the road, making that legal tender, driving them highways, man. Shout out to Mad Chad.
So we're going to close it up after this, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, we're going to definitely close it up. I know you got to go, Chip. You've been here for an hour. I know you know me, I'm retired. I'll sit here all day smoking weed, watching fights.
I can't do nothing no more. So, but what I'm gonna do is I was gonna do some sit-ups and stretch, but I'm gonna wait now. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep for like 2 hours and then get up and do some stretching and maybe go to the gym if I can. I gotta wait till I see Shania. So here's Jimmy Sneaky, this. But Kenny Norton won this, right?
Kenny Norton won this split decision. This was a split decision, and they never had a rematch. Many people said that Jimmy Young should have been the champ. He went around as the uncrowned champ for a while after this fight, but he just didn't have it in him. And this fight took everything out of Jimmy Young. You know, Jimmy is. Well, look at him now. Look how Jimmy ends that fight with a beautiful combination. The Carlos Padilla, the referee.
Well, Kenny Norton, lucky he put that pressure.
Yeah, and you know, people wanted to see the rematch with Muhammad Ali with Ken Norton, the fourth fight, more than they wanted to see a rematch with Young too. So that could have been something. You know how boxing is, how the judges are paid off and influenced. And in a close fight like this, I just think Ken Norton was the golden boy here. You know, and there it is, man. It's the end of the fight. 15 rounds. 15 rounds, and Ken Norton was never the same after that.
Oh no. Okay.
But yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, after this fight, he was an opponent. You know, he was out there as a gatekeeper. Jerry Cooney stopped him in 4 rounds with a cut.
Yeah, I was sparring with Jerry when he fought him.
Well,
I was his sparring partner when he fought Kenny Norton.
That was a sad fight when he fought Jimmy Young. I wanted to see Jimmy Young beat him. I like Jimmy Young Jimmy was one of my men for a long time.
When Jimmy fought who?
When he fought Jerry Cooney.
Oh, Jerry Cooney. Okay.
Yeah, Jerry Cooney busted him up. Jimmy was just really, he was in there for the paycheck, and you know he was a gatekeeper. After that, he fought an undefeated Greg Page. He lost a unanimous.
Okay, Greg Page.
He lost a unanimous decision to an undefeated Tony Tubbs. An undefeated Tony Tucker. But
Jimmy Young fought those guys.
Jimmy Young fought those guys. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Because Don King kept him around to use his name to build these guys' records.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, man. It's sad the way Jimmy Young had to go. He died at 56. He had a heart attack.
Wow.
He was broke. He was practically homeless. I mean,
yeah,
Jimmy.
I think I met him a couple of times during that era. I've met him a couple of times. He didn't really look good.
Well,
down in Philly, I did. I met him a couple of times, but I'm just saying I trained with him before. But then after like his career and stuff was down, I think I met him a couple of times. He didn't really look all that good at Joe Frazier's gym. I seen him a couple of times. So those days near the end, you know, he didn't really look healthy or nothing like that. I remember. There's some good stuff for the fans. There's some good stuff for the fans that know about Jimmy Young. I witnessed him near the end too. He looked it really bad. Looked like he was drinking all the time. You know, and
he had CTE too. They found that he had CTE.
What's that?
Too many headshots. You know, the trauma on the brain, the encephalitis. You know, Tim, a lot of these guys, they have that. The fighters, they have that now. But you, my brother, your defense, that's what you were a defensive specialist.
That helped a little bit because I'm starting to forget. Maybe, I don't know what it is.
Man, I never got hit in the head like you, but I forget too. That's just age. But some guys, right now, Marlon Starling's in really rough shape.
Marlon Starling, yes.
Mitch Green.
Who else?
Mitch Green.
Mitch ain't that bad.
Well, he's been putting some crazy stuff on Facebook. He can't sleep at night.
Oh, yeah, I know. I got to get back to talking to him again. Let me see. What's his name? Mickey Ward is bad.
Yeah. A lot of these fighters
Ward is bad. Whoa. That's my man, Mickey, but
it's sad. But see, but my point is, bro, that's the importance of defense.
Yes, it'll help. It'll help. I kept my hands up. I think from drinking beer and partying, I forget from that, but I kept my hands up. I did get hit. I got hit pretty good by Carter Truth. Frank Bruno hit me. And I can't remember nobody else hitting me solid because, I kept my hands up. But Frank Bruno got me. Carter Truth got me.
How about the Bone Crusher? Did he get you?
Bone really didn't hit me hard in the head. He probably caught me, but not like Carter Truth and Frank Bruno for that particular fight. Yeah.
Well, see, that's one of the sad parts of seeing these old fighters today. It breaks my heart when I see these guys and they, it's tough, man. But
there's a couple more lighter weights too. That who is that? They really can't. Johnny Bumpers, before he passed away, he was bad. Johnny Bumpers, remember him?
Yeah, Johnny Bumpers.
Johnny Bumpers was really bad. There's a couple other guys.
James Broad.
James Broad. I don't know if he was that bad before he passed away.
Yeah, he was. He was living homeless in the back.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was living homeless down in Atlantic City. I think he was doing drugs and everything, and then they said they found him in the street dead or something, right?
Yeah, they found him in a car behind a bowling alley. Very, very, very tough for some of these fighters, man. And hey, man, we're here today, and we had a great talk about Jimmy Young. Jimmy had a great career, and man, I'm honored to have Terrible Tim Witherspoon.
We got to get ready for the next one. This one is a little awkward because I had to get up. I was getting ready to go to sleep for a couple of hours, and then you called. So I said, let me get on and show my face. It might be a pretty girl out there.
You got a pretty face out there, too, and a lot of them pretty girls are going to see that. And look out, man. But they got to get by Shania. Shania wants to make sure her daddy gets a main man. Gets a main girl this time, bro. She ain't gonna let Tim go out with any floozies.
Yeah, I'll lock her in the room somewhere. I lock her in the room. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. Bruce, thank you for having me on, and thank you everybody for watching this part about Jimmy Young. And I had a chance to be with him and had intimate time, like talking with him, and he was a great boxer, a good champion too. So this is something, man. I was with the guy, and mostly all those guys that you seen, that everybody's seen on the show. I had a chance to be with those guys and their trainers, and this is what the modern day boxers didn't experience, and I just got the end tail of it, and I feel gracious. The Joe Frazier's, the Slim Robinsons, the Hank Durhams, and all those trainers that had the knowledge. I just caught the tail end of it. And nowadays, these dudes are running around with no defense. They're all offense. They throw a lot of punches, so they don't have to do defense. Their trainers can't teach them defense because they don't know defense. And they say your best defense is your offense, which is not good to say.
No,
You got to
hey,
say,
man,
yeah, I can teach you defense and I can teach you offense.
well, you help me out big time, because I feel it's my mission to come out here and bring these historic fighters back to life. Let people know that the courage that they had. And man, when I come bump elbows with Terrible Tim Witherspoon, one of my heroes from back in the day, man. He's like an insurance policy. I know I'm not going to do a bad show because I got freaking Allstate over here sitting on my left hand side, and anything comes up and he covers it, man. We're in good hands.
I gotta go get married. I gotta get married. I gotta get somebody to help me and stuff. I think I might. I have to get somebody.
We'll save that for another show. We'll have the bowling game on here pretty soon. Okay, my brother?
Yes. Who you say? What you say?
We're gonna have the dating game.
Okay.
I'm gonna get 3 games up there. We're gonna have you a pick of them.
Hit me up, Bruce. Thank you for having me on.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. See you, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Thank you.
Peace out, brother. Peace out, man. Hey, how much luckier can we get than having the champ on here? Somebody who was in the ring with Jimmy Young, and it was just great talking about Jimmy Young, because when I speak about Jimmy Young, man, I get shivers up my spine. I watched some of his fights, and he died. He was only 56 years old with a heart attack. It's just a terrible thing. And just keep the man in your memory. And if you want to watch some of his fights, you're not going to do yourself any harm. Jimmy Young, great fighter. I think he should have been the heavyweight champion of the world. But what do I know? This is Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more, man. God bless you and peace.